Time to look back at this day in local history. 44 years ago today, almost every business in the Jackson area had to shut down. Schools were closed. Legislators went home. Even the State of the State address by Governor William Winter was canceled. The reason was an ice storm. Several thousand cars and trucks ran off the interstate, prompting Jackson Mayor Dale Danks to go on television, urging everyone to stay off the highways until it all melted. Work crews spread 100 tons of salt to help speed the process. Jackson police responded to more than 200 accidents, and every wrecker service in town worked around the clock trying to rescue all those stranded vehicles. An ice and snowstorm crippled the metro area on January 12, 1982. Your look at this day in history.